Ready, dear, you may begin.
Have you ever been in a moment when you feel like no one is by your side? You are alone dealing with the world around you. You have no power, no strength, and unable to do anything just by yourself. Each person has their own way to get through this length of time. One of the friends of mine gets her strength from a verse in the Bible, which is Nehemiah 6:9 said, "They were all trying to frighten us, thinking their hands will get too weak for the work, and it will not be completed. But I prayed, now strengthen my hands." In order to understand more about my main verse, I want to talk briefly through the background information of the book of Nehemiah. I get this information from Pastor Dickery, and the book of Nehemiah itself was likely written by Nehemiah. Other people collect his writing and made it into a book and then name it Nehemiah. It covers the time between 445 to 432 BC, and it was written to God people in general. Nehemiah himself is the son of Hagaliah, and he is also known as a cupbearer of the king. He was chosen by God to lead people back to Israel, and his mission is to rebuild the wall of Jerusalem. The main verse, Nehemiah 6:9 itself, is actually a prayer of Nehemiah for the God in order for him to give him strength. The people who are not easily moved and live on the land of Israel and were trying to prevent and discourage Nehemiah and his people from rebuilding the wall of Jerusalem. And that's the moment when Nehemiah prayed for the God. Furthermore, there are other verses in other books of the Bible which also talk about strength. For example, in the book of Psalms 18:32, "It is God who arms me with strength and keeps my way secure." As you can see, God is not only giving you strength, He is also keeping your ways safe. He's always be there, protect you and support you no matter what happens. Other than that, we have Philippians 4:30. "I can do all this through Him who gives me strength." You can do anything whenever God gives you strength. Just like Nehemiah was given strength by God, then he and his people were able to rebuild the wall of Jerusalem. Those are the verses of how God strengthened his people in the Bible. But in real life, there are many people that also have strength. I was reading a story in Human of New York, which was published in June 30, 2014. And it was about this woman. She got a child when she was 16, which made he got kicked out of high school. Her family and the community also wrote her off, but luckily she got a job at the sporting goods center. And then she moved and became a receptionist, where she learned how to do taxes and eventually become an associate. Then she moved because she wanted more experience, and after 6 months, she ended up become a controller of that company because the old one left. Can you believe that a woman who hasn't finished high school, doesn't even have a college degree, can be a controller of a company? Strength is a magical thing. You could do anything if you have strength. Each person has their own way to get strength from themselves. Matthew 19:26 said, "Jesus looked at them and said, 'With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible.'" For believers, you don't need to go anywhere to find strength. Strength comes from God. You can cannot know how powerful God is. If you believe in Him, He will strengthen yourself. He will lift you up, refresh your mind. And for the unbelievers, you can get help and find strength from people, those who are close to you, like your family, your friends. You can also have strength from yourself. Be positive and get through the tragedies in your life. Let's take a look at our handout. These are the ways that you can use to build your inner strength. I found this in Huffington Post, and the number 4 and number 10 is those I was mentioned earlier. So if you want to read more, this was the link. Feel free to ask. Strength is an important aspect in our life. You cannot live without strength. It comes to you through simple things like God's word. It also comes to you through motivating words, which came from your families, advice from friends, whose you trust in. It also comes from yourself. It also comes through yourself by setting goals, which you can seek in, and eventually they will give you strength and influence in order to reach those goals. Just remember that you are not alone. There's always people by your side, and don't be afraid to ask them whenever you need.